Recently, PowerSchool has added a new report to the PowerSchool Power Teacher Gradebook. When you're in your gradebook, if you look over to the left-hand side to the charms, click on the Reports charm. Once you click Reports, you'll now see that there's a Standards Grades report. Once I click there, the report title automatically defaults to Standards Grade Report. You may click in that box and rename it. Under Classes, if I click the drop-down arrow, it automatically checks whichever class I'm currently in. For this example, I'm currently in my homeroom class, for which I do not have standards grades, so I will uncheck that box. I should have standards grades for reading, language arts, math, science, and social studies. I can look here to see which classes I have selected. Under student field name, you can have the student name show up, the student number show up, or both. The default is for the name to show. When you look at sort options, this is where you want to ensure that under layout, you choose by reporting term final grades. That's the option you will need to select in order for the report to generate. Under students, the default is set to gradebook preference, which means however you have your names sorted and organized within your gradebook, that is how they would appear. If I click the drop-down arrow, I can choose to have my report run by student last name or student first name. Assignment dates. We will not be running this report to include assignments, so the default will be due dates by newest. Under data to include in the standards field, you can choose just to have the name of the standard, which would have the parent-friendly language of the standard appear, the identifier, which would be the naming that we're used to, like NCES.LA.L.1.2, all of those numbers, or we can have both. For reporting terms, since we're looking at quarter one, that is what we would select here. If we were running a report for quarter two or quarter three, we could check that box. When we look at students, I can run this report for all of my students in my class. If I need to select certain students, I can click the Add Remove Students. If I uncheck this top box, it will uncheck all of the boxes beside of the students in my class, and I can go in and select individual students. Under the Format option, we want to leave our orientation to landscape since our standards will be printing on this report. It's going to print as a PDF. That's the printer-friendly version of this, especially if you would like to use it as your progress reports. Also, if you're utilizing this report for a progress report, you can, at the bottom, choose a signature line. So if I check that box to include, there will be a place for parents to sign. Once I've looked at all of those fields, I can click Run Report. Once you run the report, this is what it looks like. You'll see up at the top where it says Standards Grades Report. If I had changed the name and put a custom name there, such as Quarter 1 Progress Reports, that is what would appear there. Student name will also appear over on the right-hand side. Depending on which option you chose, it'll either be last name and then first name, or first name, last name. Teacher name will show up as well. But what you should see for each of those classes are the standards that have been assessed up until this point for quarter one, with the corresponding standards grades there as well. You'll notice that this particular report, it has the identifier as well as the standard name. If you chose just the standard name, it would just have the standard as it is written in parent-friendly language. We included a signature line, so you'll notice that that is at the bottom as well.